Hey everybody, it's me, Jimmy Flyersguys, and welcome to another edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. I'm your host, Jimmy Flyersguys. In my last episode, I counted down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows that I watched from 1991 to 1993. And today's episode is going to be part 2 of Nickelodeon shows that I watched. This episode will be Nickelodeon shows that I watched from 1994 to 1998. Nickelodeon went through some changes in 1996. A lot of great new shows were added to the lineup from 94 all the way up to 96 and then to 98. In this episode, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows that I watched from 1994 to 1998. Without further ado, let's get into the countdown. Okay, starting off the countdown at number 10. All That was one of my favorite sketch comedies. I like this show. It has some great sketches, such as Earboy, also Pierre, and also Little Information was also a great sketch as well. Do not forget about Earboy. That was another one of my favorites. And also Coach Cretan was also my favorite sketch as well. All That was such a funny show. I remember watching a couple episodes of this show. I'm not really sure if I started watching this in 94 or 95. But, I'm putting this on the countdown because this show did come out in between 94 and 95, so it makes sense to put it on here. This show launched the career of Kenan Thompson, who's now part of Saturday Night Live. He also has a sports show with Kevin Hart, and the show really springboarded him into stardom. So, at number 10, All That. At number 9, Wienerville. Wienerville was a strange show. There were a lot of puppets and cartoon segments in this show as well. It was weird, it was wacky, but it had a very unique feel to it. I used to watch this show before I would go to school, and after school, I'd watch it as well. The show usually aired sometimes on weekdays and on weekends as well. So, this was a good show. And, it was alright. So number nine, Meter Hill. And number eight, yes, I have to show some love to Looney Tunes. Because this is a show that I would watch every day around 4 o'clock until I started getting into Power Rangers. And last I remember watching this show at night, I think it was on around 7 o'clock. Because Looney Tunes would be on before Nick at Night would come on. So I would watch this show. And I really liked Looney Tunes. You had characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Sylvester, Tweety, Mystery Sam, Speedy Gonzales, all the favorites. And also, let's not forget the Tasmanian Devil and Marvin the Martian as well. This was such a great show. And I remember watching this. It was on. It was on around 7 p.m., but it was also on weekday mornings as well. After it would come on after Mr. Wizard's World. And I used to watch this, and I just enjoyed it. This was such a great show to watch. I really liked it. There's some very classic cartoons on here. So, at number 8, Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon. At number 7, are you afraid of the dark? I remember watching this show every Saturday night on Snick. Me and my sister used to watch this show. This was such a great show. This show had a very good run from the early 1990s all the way up to 98, I think. This was a really good show. Well, this was a show where a group of kids would gather around a campfire and tell ghost stories. Are You Afraid of the Dark was such a unique show. Honestly, when I was a kid, I was scared of some of the stories. But once I got older, I started watching this show again. I started laughing my ass off because it was just so fake and so funny. Like, I just couldn't help laughing. So number 7, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Number 6, Real Monsters. I remember seeing a preview of this show. Well, a 10-second clip of the show. Nickelodeon was doing, I forget what it was doing. It was like the Kids' Choice Awards or something. It was like a preview of the show. The first time I watched this show, it was around October of 1994. It was the first episode. It was a Halloween episode where it just meets a young boy the first time. The thing is, the monsters are not interact with the humans. So the episode is really a really funny episode. Because a lot of people thought that it just was a kid in a Halloween costume. It was just a funny episode of it just going trick or treating. And the episode was like centered around the two other monsters of Lena and Chrome. They were looking for agents and they couldn't find them. It's a really funny show. Very unique. This was one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows in the 90s. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun show. It was a unique show. I enjoyed it. So, so at number 6 are Real Monsters. And now we get into the top 5. And at number 5, Rocco's Modern Life. This show was so fun. I enjoyed it. I remember watching this every day after school and every day on the weekend. Well, and every weekend. This show was very unique. It was just like Ren and Snippy. It was gross out humor and its unique style of animation. This show became one of my all-time favorite shows. I started watching this show in 1994. I remember Nickelodeon was doing a Rocco's Modern Life marathon. And I watched about 10 episodes. And I was hooked. I love this show so much. One of my all-time favorite Nicktoons. So number 5, Rocco's Modern Life. And number 4, Kablam. Kablam was a cartoon show with your hosts, Henry and Keenan. This was a cartoon show. They would show different kinds of cartoons, such as Actually Now, Life of Lizzie, Sneeze, and Fondue, and Prometheus and Bob. This show was fun. A lot of great cartoons. Prometheus and Bob was my favorite because this show really made me laugh. Actually Now was pretty funny as well. Life of Lizzie was kind of weird. This show also released the show Angela and Honda, which became a standout hit for the brand and the return a show on Fox Channel. I really enjoyed the brand. I used to watch this show every Friday night. I think I remember the show also ended up on Snick as well. At number 4, at number 4, to blame. We're getting to our last 3 picks on this countdown. At number 3, Cousin Skeeter. Cousin Skeeter was a unique show. Red Puppet, and his cousin. They would get into wacky adventures. It was a very funny show. Skeeter was also always getting injured, and funny things would always happen to him in this show. This show was one of my favorite shows in 1998. It had a very catchy theme song, and it also made me laugh. This show was a good one. So number 3, Cousin Skeeter. At number 2, at number 2, Angry Beavers. I love this show. There's about 2 beavers that lived in a dam together. And it was just a hilarious show. It was a weird show, but it was hilarious. The show circles around 2 beavers named Daggett and Norbert. D-A-G-D, and Norbert, the older brother. This show was funny. Norbert was my favorite character because Norbert was the coolest character on the show. This show was fun, and it made me laugh, and it was just a very funny TV show. The show lasted, I think, until 2000, if I'm not mistaken. But this show was truly one of my favorite shows. So number 2, Angry Beavers. And now, we get into the number 1 pick on this countdown. At number 1. At number 1. At number 1. At number 1. Kenan and Kel. This was one of my favorite TV shows. It was it had everything. It was hilarious. It was crazy. It was funny. The one thing that I really enjoyed about this show with every episode, she is fonder with your her because the subject held it. And that show was really funny. This show was so great, it lasted until 2000. This show was hilarious. It had a lot of funny jokes, a lot of hilarious situations, and this show just really made me laugh. And that is why I want to put this at number 10, or number 1 on this countdown. I watched this show from late, maybe early 97, all the way till 2000. And I really enjoyed this show. Keenan was hilarious. Carol was hilarious. These two made a good team. They were hilarious. They were funny. And how could you not? How could you not like this show? This show is amazing. And that is it for this week. And just like that, ends another countdown here on the Flyersguys top 10. Sorry if my voice was a little off in the video. My head was, I was laying back, so I was trying to see if I could put my head in the right spots I can talk to. But anyway, that was, my countdown of the top 10 Nickelodeon shows I watched from 1994 to 1998. In my next episode, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows I watched from 1999 to 2005. That will officially be the finale of that. Guys, thank you for joining me for this week's edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. I will see you guys next week for another countdown here on Flyersguys Top 10. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great week. And I'll see you next time.